Okay, so I think we'll get started, guys. So today we're going to focus on eating for energy and focus. Okay. Now, the reason why I decided to do this free masterclass is because there's loads of people who are confused about health. People are saying to cut carbs, to fast for 16 hours, to eliminate coffee, to not snack. And everyone is confused, right? Everyone is exhausted and relying on caffeine anyway. So today I want to clarify a few of these misconceptions because the way we eat has a huge impact on our energy, our focus, our stress levels, mood, how we show up in life and work, everything, right? And there are little shifts that you can do that can really help you shift your energy towards more focus and get more energy, basically, which we're going to go through today. Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through a life in the day. I'm going to show you from morning to evening how to use coffee properly, what to eat, when to eat, how to structure your meals, and how to avoid crashes and brain fog, especially in the afternoon. Now, I will encourage you, okay, to grab a pen and paper to make this session really valuable for you. Grab a pen and paper, and on one section, write the micro habits that you'd like to start implementing this week, okay? And I'd also like you to have a little shopping list, because basically, as we go through this masterclass, there might be things that you want to buy or supplements that you want to buy, okay? And when we set up our environment well, eating for focus and energy becomes really, really easy. Now, on some of the slides, you might see an asterisk, okay, this little asterisk there. And basically what it means is that on this particular slide, there might be something that you want to add to your shopping list. Now, you might be thinking, why should I listen to you, right? Who are you? So my name is Gillian Sherry. I'm originally from Malta. I've been living overseas now and traveling for a decade, and I'm currently based in Ireland. Now, the reason why I mention this is because my travels have heavily influenced the way I view health and approach health. And I've watched many different eating styles and lifestyle habits. And what I've come to realize is that true health doesn't come from counting calories, obsessing over macros, or complex food rules, but it comes from tuning into your body, from simplifying things, and also working with what nature gave us. Okay. And this lesson hit home for me personally. I worked for a decade in corporate. I got completely burnt out. Story you hear, I'm sure, over and over, or maybe you're going through it yourself. I ended up getting quite sick. And as I started to heal, what I realized is that you don't have to completely change your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be super hard, right? All you have to do is implement small, consistent habits daily, which accumulate and can transform the way you feel. And that is why I do what I do today, basically. On that note, there's one more thing I missed. I'm not only a nutrition specialist, okay? I'm also a coach and a CBT practitioner. Because what I realized is that, knowledge is everywhere. There's ChatGPT now, you can find out everything. Knowledge is not the problem. The problem is implementation and behavior change, okay? So my goal is to make healthy choices simple and sustainable. All right, so let's dive straight in, okay? So first thing in the morning, guys, you don't want to have your coffee. You want to have a large glass of water with a drop of electrolytes or a squeeze of lemon and a pinch of sea salt. Now, if you would like to try and buy electrolytes, Trace Minerals is a really, really good brand, but you don't need to buy it. You can use your sea salt and a pinch of lemon and some lemon. Now, the reason why we want to do this first thing in the morning is because we wake up cellularly dehydrated, okay? Overnight, we lose a liter of water by breathing and sweating. So if first thing in the morning we have that glass of water, we're going to replenish the fluids we've lost, because mild dehydration mimics chronic fatigue and it also impairs your short-term memory. So if we wake up, drink our glass of water, we feel more alert and refreshed straight away. Now, second thing, you might be wondering, coffee, is it good or is it bad? So the good thing is coffee is not bad. It's actually great. Okay. It's a drink that's very rich in antioxidants, and it's also a natural performance enhancer. Okay. It's great. However, there are a few things we want to consider. So when you wake up, right, your body naturally pumps out its peak level of cortisol, which is your primary stress and alertness hormone, to help you wake up. So if you dump caffeine on an already alert and awake system, it can lead to anxiety, jitters, it can impair your gut lining, crash your metabolism. So that's one of the reasons why we want to have a glass of water first, and we want to put in these strategies, as I'm going to mention next, to use coffee well, okay? So we don't get the side effects, basically. So firstly, you want to delay your coffee, okay? Drink coffee 60 to 90 minutes after waking. This lets your body's natural waking hormones do their thing first. Secondly, you want to buffer it. So never drink coffee on an empty stomach, okay? It spikes cortisol and it disrupts your digestion, okay? And it can irritate the gut lining. Now, if you're someone who wakes up and you're like, I'm not really hungry in the morning, that's fine, right? Have something small. Have half an apple with nuts or nut butter, something small to line the gut. You don't need to have a massive breakfast. And thirdly, you want to cap it, okay? Ideally, you want to limit it to 1 to 2 shots a day. And you want to stop drinking coffee by 11 a.m. because coffee remains in your system for around 10 hours, okay? So we don't want it to disrupt our sleep. So delay it, buffer it, and cap it. Now, okay, if you're someone like me, right, who in the morning straight away likes to have something warm, a nice warm drink. I was the same. I really miss having my coffee straight away in the morning. However, you can find a few replacements. So a really nice one is dandelion coffee, okay? Dandelion coffee is caffeine free and it tastes like coffee, and it's also very good for your liver, okay? Another one is chicory. So chicory is a prebiotic fiber. So that means it's very good for the gut. And a prebiotic fiber actually feeds your good bacteria. Okay. So these can help you delay your coffee, and they're really good and they're really beneficial for your body as well. Okay, now sorry to say this, but coffee is not for everyone. Okay, it depends on your life stage and it also depends on your genetics. So, some people process coffee really slowly. However, others can take one sip of espresso and instantly feel anxious or have a racing heart rate. So, for these people, coffee might not be your friend, unfortunately. Another thing is hormones, right? If you're going through perimenopause or menopause, dumping caffeine on a already volatile hormonal system can make your symptoms worse. So if you're at this life stage, you probably want to stop it for now or just really limit it. Okay. Sorry, guys. I know you probably love your coffee. I do too. Okay, so we know now we have water straight away, first thing in the morning, and we delay our coffee. Now, before we continue, I want to focus on one important thing, right? If you want steady energy, calm and focus throughout the entire day, steady blood sugar is your holy grail. Now, you might ask me, okay, how do I keep my blood sugar stable all day? What you want to do is never eat carbs naked. Okay. So, what I mean is, don't have your oats by themselves, don't have your breakfast cereals or your toast with jam. Okay. These are all carbs, they're all sugar. So, what happens is with carbs. The sugar from the carbs goes straight into the bloodstream like a tidal wave. Okay. It gives you that energy and that boost for an hour and you feel really good. But what goes up must come down. And after an hour, your mood, your energy, and your focus basically goes down as well. Okay. So, in order to counteract this, what you want to do is dress your carbs. Okay. And what I mean by this is you want to add a source of protein and healthy fats to your meals. Okay. So, for instance, if you're having oats, you can put some Greek yogurt and nuts and berries. Your breakfast cereals, just stop them altogether. Okay. They're not great for you. If you're having toast, have it with eggs and avocado or feta cheese. Okay. The protein and the fats act like the brakes on your cars. Okay. They slow down the sugar going in through the bloodstream so that you have stable energy throughout the day. So I'd love for you to adapt this concept to every meal and every snack. Okay. So keep this in mind as we go along. All right. Next. Okay, breakfast. So, for optimal brain function, steady energy, and cellular health, science shows we need a solid 20 to 30 grams of protein, specifically at breakfast and lunch. So, yes, guys, the protein hype is real. The ultra processed hype of protein is not. Okay, so avoid your protein bars, your protein shakes. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about whole food sources of protein. And what this is going to do, it's going to allow you to feel full and it's going to keep you steady and energized throughout the day. Now, I want to give you a couple of examples, right, of some good breakfasts. So you have the savory start. You can have 3 eggs, feta, cheese, avocado, and some sourdough bread. That's a lovely breakfast. If you like something sweet in the morning, you can go for the power bowl, which is Greek yogurt topped with mixed nuts, fresh berries, and seeds. So, Greek yogurt is excellent to get like 20 grams of protein really quickly. And I would add hemp seeds to as many things as you can. Okay, you can add these to your shopping list because they're high in omega-3. They're very good for brain health and they're very high in protein, okay, for a seed. And then we have the loaded oats. So you can, if you like your oats, you can absolutely have them. Just add some Greek yogurt, nuts, seeds, and some fruits. Okay. And then you've got a lovely breakfast. And here you have around 20 to 30 grams of protein in each of these breakfasts. Okay. So far we're drinking water, you're having your breakfast, and then you're having your coffee if you drink coffee. Okay. So this is another really important one. And it's something that almost all of my clients, I think, are deficient in, which is vitamin D. Okay. Now, vitamin D is really important. It acts like a hormone in our body. Okay. And if we're deficient or if it's low, it's going to impact our mood, our energy, and our immunity. Okay. Now, the best source of vitamin D is sunshine. But if you live in a cloudy climate like myself, it can be very hard to get it from the sun, right? Or if you live in a sunny climate, but you're working indoors all the time, it can still be quite hard to get the adequate amount of vitamin D we need. So I'm going to go through 3 different ways that we can get our vitamin D. Firstly, if you do have sunshine, get out in the sunshine, okay? And you want to be out in the sunshine for like 10 to 20 minutes with bare skin, okay? Not fully clothed. So you want your arms out, your legs out, and don't put sun cream on, okay, for the first 15 to 20 minutes. Because if you put sun cream on, then your body is not able to manufacture its own vitamin D levels. Okay, so that's one way. Now, in order to get enough vitamin D, you'd have to do this a few times a week, okay? If you're not able to do this a few times a week, I highly recommend that you supplement with a high quality vitamin D3 supplement. Now, how do you know it's high quality? So I'd love you to, if you do decide to buy it, okay, go to your health food store and ask them, I want a supplement that's made from whole food sources and that is ideally third-party tested. then you know you're not wasting your money, okay? Because it's going to be a highly absorbable form. And you want to go for vitamin D3. Now, another important thing is you want to have your vitamin D3 with food, okay? Vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin, which means that you're able to absorb it when you eat fat with it. If you have it in the morning on an empty stomach, you're basically wasting your money, okay? So have it with your breakfast. Now, to get, you can get a boost of vitamin D with food. It's very hard to get your vitamin D requirement from food alone, but if you want to boost your vitamin D levels, you can get it from wild caught fish like salmon, herring, tuna. You can get it from eggs and from mushrooms. Now, a really interesting one with mushrooms, right? So, mushrooms act like our skin, okay? So, when you put them, before you cook them, put them on your windowsill in direct sunlight and leave them there for around 15 minutes. That gives them enough time to manufacture more vitamin D so that when you consume them, you're getting more vitamin D. Okay, so that's a nice, really simple hack. Okay, so now you've had your breakfast, you had your vitamin D, and then it's around 11 p.m. and you're like, oh, I'm peckish, I fancy something. But I assure you that if you have a high protein breakfast, you'll want to snack much less. But anyway, let's imagine that you're fancying something, you're fancying a snack. So the first thing I ask you to do is just pause, okay, and ask yourself this question. Am I actually hungry? And the reason why I ask you to do this is because digestion takes an immense amount of energy, okay? So if you graze all day, if you're snacking all day and grazing on food all day, your digestive system is never having a break and you're going to feel exhausted and you're not going to feel focused, okay? So let's say you realize, no, you're actually just bored or you're procrastinating or you're stressed. Shift your environment, okay, to reset your brain. Give your gut a break, sorry. So take a 5-minute walk, do a quick stretch, call someone, have a chat, okay? Just shift your environment, basically. Now, if you are genuinely physically hungry, do not starve yourself, okay? Absolutely eat something. Just as I mentioned before, dress your snack, okay? Don't have that biscuit or that chocolate bar, okay? Have apples with nut butter or have some nuts, okay? Have some protein that's going to keep you going till lunchtime and it's not going to give you an energy crash. Okay, so if you feel that, you still want something to kind of give you a bit of a boost, and then green tea is my go-to, okay? So maybe rather than getting another coffee, go for green tea. So green tea contains an amino acid called L-theanine, which works alongside the gentle caffeine, and it promotes calm, focused energy without the jitters, okay? This is my favorite productivity drink. It's also packed with a powerful antioxidant called EGCG, which supports your metabolism. Okay, it's also great for heart health and for balancing blood sugar levels. Okay, so this is a really lovely one. I would add this to your shopping list. Okay, so lunchtime. So in our modern society, we have this backwards, okay? We tend to skip lunch or have a really small lunch and then have a really large dinner. But biologically, our body is able to digest food best at noon, okay, when the sun is at its highest. So I would recommend that you make your lunch your largest meal of the day because this is when it's going to be digested efficiently. This is when your body is able to manage your blood sugar levels really well, and it's going to be able to use this for energy efficiently. Now, again, you want to go for that 20 to 30 grams of high quality protein, okay, paired with some nice healthy fats, because this will keep you going until evening, okay, and it will ensure that your energy levels are steady. So now, if you want to add a few power boosts to your lunch, then these are my secret weapons, okay? Firstly, you want to fill your plate with greens like spinach, kale, rocket, lettuce. You can grab these. These can be in the fridge, right? It's very easy. So just add them to your lunch. Because Green vegetables are very high in minerals and vitamins, antioxidants, and plant compounds that give your cells energy and also prevent your brain from experiencing oxidative stress. Okay, so these are lovely. Another one you want to add is cayenne pepper. Sprinkle a little bit of cayenne pepper onto your lunch, and the warming sensation makes you feel a bit more alert, and it also helps your metabolism. All right, now evening. So we've gone through how to fuel our day, okay? But how we end our day determines our energy for the next day. So a few things that you can do to improve your energy the next day is do a 12-hour fast. Now, I know there's a lot of conversations at the moment around 16-hour fasts, and look, they're great, right? But it all depends on your individual circumstance. If at the moment you're very stressed, it can backfire. If you're going through perimenopause or menopause, your body is already going through a lot, it can backfire. Whereas a 12-hour fast is safe and it gives your digestive system a really, really good break. I also recommend that you finish eating 2 to 3 hours before bed, okay? And the reason being that research shows that if you go to bed on a full stomach, your body is not able to sleep deeply and go through its repairing that needs to be done, okay? So in the evening when you go to sleep, your brain activates what's called its glymphatic system, okay? And this is like the night cleaning crew, right? That's why you're seeing a cleaning crew on the slide. So basically they come in and they get rid of metabolic waste and brain toxins. Now, if your body is busy digesting the food, this night crew is going to be cancelled, or at least partially cancelled, okay? So your body is not going to go through the cleaning and the cell repair required. So that's why you could actually sleep 8 hours and still wake up feeling groggy and sluggish the next morning. Okay, this will make a huge impact on your energy. Now, one more thing you want to do is I would recommend you buy a magnesium glycinate supplement and you take it 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Now, you might say, but I can get magnesium from food. Absolutely, you can. But today, because of our modern farming practices, our soils are heavily depleted of magnesium. Plus, stress depletes magnesium in the body, and unfortunately, most of us are chronically stressed. So I highly recommend this supplement. Okay, the form glycinate or biglycinate is really, really good because it's really well absorbed in the body. It calms your nervous system and guides your brain into a deep restorative sleep. Okay, this can be a game changer. If you don't sleep well, I highly recommend you try it. So basically, for nighttime, right, you want to for better energy the next day, you want to stop eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. You want to give your digestive system a break, and you want to top up your magnesium. Okay, so this is what our list should look like, right? In terms of micro habits, you want to have a glass of water first thing, delay your coffee, never eat carbs alone, stop eating 3 hours before bed. And then when it comes to your shopping list, a few things you can consider are chicory or dandelion coffee, vitamin D3, green tea, cayenne pepper, and magnesium glycinate, okay? So what we've gone through is the foundations for energy and focus. Now, if you implement these changes, you are going to experience a noticeable difference, okay? Now, if you're suffering from more complex challenges like you have persistent fatigue or you have digestive issues, autoimmune conditions, etc., then you might need more personalized support, okay? And if this is you, okay, that's why I created my 6-week holistic reset. Okay, basically what this is you get 6 private coaching one-on-one sessions, and we go through your health and your lifestyle habits. So we come up with a really good personalized eating plan that works for your body with your preferences and your lifestyle. But we don't just look at what you eat, right? We also factor in other things that are going to be impacting your metabolism, your energy, and your overall well being, which is stress, sleep, movement, emotional eating, and daily habits. Okay. And now this doesn't involve any calorie counting or anything like that, right? My clients say it is very simple to implement. The goal is to implement simple, sustainable changes that create lasting results. Clients say that they gain more confidence, they feel more energized, more in control of their habits, they lose weight, they know how to balance their diet on their own, and they have an improved energy levels. Okay. So this investment is normally 600 euros. Okay. But because you've joined this live masterclass or you're watching the recording, you'll also get my Heal Your Hunger course completely free. Okay. This is valued at 247 euros. And what it is basically, it's an online program which you'll have lifetime access to it. It's bite-sized videos and activities to help you stick with these new habits long term, okay? Because you can go to someone, do an entire program, and then you don't have the support and you fall off the wagon, okay? So this is going to focus on the behavioral side, okay? The emotional eating, self-sabotage, ensuring that your new habits stick long term, okay? Now, if you do want to avail of this, right, all you need to do is book a free 15-minute clarity call. So I'll be sending an email with the recording of this, and there'll be a link which you can use there. You can lock it in, and basically it's a call where we go through, what's going on with you and see whether it's a good fit or not. Okay, so there's absolutely no pressure to buy anything on this call. Now, my service is very tailored, so I only take a few clients at one go, okay? So this offer is valid for the next 48 hours or for the first 5 people who claim it, okay? So you'll be receiving the email very soon. Now, look, whether we work together or not, I really hope you found this valuable, okay? I'm hoping to do more masterclasses like this. So if there are any topics that would be of interest, please let me know, okay? You can send me an email. And if you have any questions on this particular session, send me an email too, okay? I'm happy to help, happy to clarify anything that maybe didn't make sense, okay? So thanks so much, guys, for joining, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.